Prepare as we delve into a continent where aspirations for progress clash with power struggles. Where hope for a better tomorrow must battle against the ever-looming threat of dictatorship. Where a series of abrupt seizures of power has repeatedly swayed the fate of her nations, leaving a deep impact on their people, institutions, and regional stability. Journey with me as we explore the 6 most recent coups in Africa, unraveling their underlying causes. 6. 2021 Guinean coup d'état. Coup leader, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. Ousted head of state government, President Alpha Condé. On 5 September 2021, President of Guinea Alpha Condé was captured by the country's armed forces in a coup d'état after gunfire in the capital, Conakry. Special Forces commander led by Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya released a broadcast on state television announcing the dissolution of the constitution and government. Their reason for the coup include tenure corruption, extension, third term, by President Alpha Condé leading to widespread protest and excessive force against oppositions. 5. October to November 2021 Sudanese coup d'état. Coup leader, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Ousted head of state government, Abdallah Hamdok. On 25 October 2021, military forces led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan took control of the government of Sudan, arrested the Prime Minister, Abdallah Hamdok, top government official and a number of pro-government supporters, dissolved the government and established a state of emergency. The reason for the coup were economic and political crisis and military grievances. 4. January 2022 Burkina Faso coup d'état. Coup leader, Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. Ousted head of state government, Roch Marc Christian Kabore. On 23 January 2022, gunfire erupted in front of the presidential residence in the Burkinabe capital Ouagadougou and several military barracks around the city. Military officers led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba were reported to have seized control of the military base in the capital. President Roch Marc Christian Kabore was detained by the junta at the military camp in the capital. Military officers led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba were reported to have seized control of the military base in the capital. The coup was motivated by the Burkinabe government's inability to contain the ever-increasing jihadist insurgency in Burkina Faso. 3. September 2022 Burkina Faso coup d'état. Coup leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Ousted head of state government, Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. On 30 September 2022, heavy gunfire and explosions were heard in several parts of the capital Ouagadougou, other parts of the state led by the new military junta Captain Traoré. Masked soldiers, mainly young and disgruntled soldiers, organized blockades in the capital's center. State TV went off the air. In the state-owned TV, military junta head announced the removal of interim President Damiba due to his inability to deal with a worsening Islamist insurgency in the country, instead was pursuing his personal goals. He imposed curfew, suspended all political and civil society activities, closed all air and land borders, and suspended the constitution. 2. 2023 Nigerian coup d'état. Coup leader, General Abdourahmane Chiani. Ousted head of state government, President Mohamed Bazoum. On 26 to 28 July 2023, President Mohamed Bazoum was ousted in a bloodless coup led by the military junta, Colonel Amadou Abdrahmane. President Mohamed Bazoum was detained under house arrest at the presidential villa. Later, the head of the military junta, Presidential Guard Commander, General Abdourahmane Chiani, proclaimed himself the leader of a new military junta, shortly after confirming the coup a success. ECOWAS chairman, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, African Union, and the Western communities quickly imposed sanctions on the country, demanding the junta to revert back to civilian rule unconditionally. The reason for the coup announced by Abdrahmane via national television was dissatisfaction, due to corruption, economic hardship, deteriorating security situation and bad governance. 1. The most recent coup in Africa is August 2003 Gabonese coup d'état. Coup leader, General Oligui Nguema Brice. Ousted head of state government, President Ali Bongo Ondimba. On 30th of August, 2023, a group of military junta in Libreville, Gabon seized power in order to overturn the results of the recent election and remove their president whose family has held power for almost 56 years. Ali Bongo was put under house arrest with his family and other senior government officials arrested. The soldiers who seized power on behalf of the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions announced the annulment of the election, immediate dissolution of all state institutions and closure of all borders. Earlier that same day around 3 a.m., the country's National Electoral Authority announced that Bongo, who had been in power for 14 years, was re-elected for a third term with 64.27% of votes cast. The junta pointed out the issue unsatisfactory election, where the president won a questionable third-term election, country worsening, economic issue, poverty, the president's health issue.